Well, hello there, and welcome to a special edition of Sports by Compion. My name, of course, is Stephen Compion, your host, the guy who's here for you to give you the sports information that you people need. And of course, we are joined here by friend of the show and new captain of the Rockford Ravens, George McHattie, in the house, graciously here to see us. George, how are you?
Feel good, mate. Feel a little bit sore. Didn't get sunburn as I did last week, I have to admit.
You put on some sunblock this weekend? Yeah. It was a hot game, man.
Yes, it was. And a good game, even though we lost, we still put up 31 points.
Yeah. So, as George mentioned, the Rockford Ravens, your very favorite of the sports teams, Sports by Compion fans, I know it. We fall to the Peoria Pigs down in Peoria, 50-31.
I think you said 12. That
what a hell of a high scoring game, George.
More points in minutes.
81 points overall. Your Rockford Ravens fall. So some quick overviews before we hop into this, George. What are your overall takeaways?
Not to blame the ref, but to actually blame the ref. We're all rugby players here, and we don't like to admit that. I feel like it's going to be a bit harsh saying it. I kind of feel like our midfield didn't really deal with their midfield very well. Their 10 was glassing and slicing through our midfield, which is a big no-no when it comes to midfielders, but not to point fingers at any particular people. But
it was a tough day for a lot of Ravens tackling wise. Myself included, I couldn't even get out there in time. As George mentioned, there was the number 10 over there. We know him as Ryan. I'm not sure what his last name is. Holy shit, was this guy fast.
And muscly.
He would just run through our back line if they could catch up to him, and then, I could just never catch the guy. I puppet trailed that dude, 3 different times from tries yesterday. So fast. Their 15 was also fast, so he would catch up to the 10 when he broke through the line, and then there'd just be a little pass off between the two.
Was he more muscly than Ameza? Which is...
No, Ameza's bigger frame, but Ameza weighs more. So that's what it kind of comes down to.
Yeah, once you hit the guy, he wasn't that difficult to take down.
Well, not for us. But some of our backline players certainly struggled to bring Mr. Ryan down.
See, I was messaging Paul.
Once again, we're not here to throw anybody under the bus.
No.
But it was definitely a lot of broken tackles yesterday. One of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen from Ravens.
Yes.
Especially these new Ravens. The last year and a half.
We had some old heads in the midfield as well.
Yeah, there was some vets he was doing this too.
Which is, it makes a little bit of sense because, our midfield is
banged up.
Very banged up. Majority.
And there was yet more injuries as very early in this game, George.
I didn't even fucking realize.
We only went down there with 22-some guys, and then right away, tons of injuries, George. Do you think these particular Ravens are injury prone? Are we too old?
Well, Becker went down with a fucked leg,
Yeah.
Immediately, 5 minutes into
But he wasn't even the first one to go down.
Who was the first one then?
Chris went down first. I think Sean went down after him. And I think Zach was already starting to be aggravated and injured at that point. This was more like 10, 15 minutes in when Becker had that kick and was out.
What the fuck happened in the first 10, 15 minutes? Because we scored the first 2, didn't we?
We scored the first one. And then they scored 3 on us.
Yeah. And then it was that second half I was thinking, we're 10 points down. I'm not feeling bad about this. I'm just not feeling like they're dominating us.
See, I had different opinions.
You thought that
on their second try, whenever that 10 just ripped through our line, and when last week happened, and the Sports by Compion fans maybe know about this, so I chased down a guy, almost had him, reached out, almost tackled him. So I have that very fresh in my mind as I started this chase of 10. So I got on my horse fast though, George. I was on my horse like, okay, all right, here we go. It's not happening again.
Redemption round.
I had no chance. I was on my horse right away and just no chance. And then granted, it was hot, and so I started to let up my speed a little bit as he just casually cut in front of me again to fake out Zach, who was coming in as the fullback, and just casually cut through both of us and scored. And I was like,
that was Sean, wasn't it?
This is going to be a tough day.
No,
Now Zach was playing
like,
fullback at that point.
Oh, fucking, he's going to get him. I was like, oh, he's going to get him. He's being cocky.
This is the second try.
I was like, oh, he's just going to fucking tap that out of his hand.
No, Zach missed him. It was a nice cutback. It might have been Sean. I don't know, but either way, the fullback missed him, and he had an easy try on that second one. And I was like, oh boy.
Yeah,
we're in
We're
trouble.
for a long fucking day. How many did Skippy put up yesterday?
I think he had a hat trick again, which is crazy because he had a hat trick last week. So that's 6 tries, or maybe 5. Either way, 5 to 6. It's insane. The guy's just always in the right spot at the right time.
Boston knows how to score.
He sure does. And he runs people over when he needs to. Like, good luck taking him down in open space. Although credit to the number 6 who was playing open side flanker for them. Had a hell of a game, but I did see him take down Skip one-on-one too, on a quick tap.
He definitely deserved man of the match.
Absolutely. Yeah, Skip had a hell of a game. It was crazy because I feel like we've had games as the Ravens where you see some of these players break the line, you're like, all right, he's going to score. Not against these Peoria pigs, man. They just chased them down. It was crazy. You saw guys like Frank break the line, not be able to finish. Jeremiah break the line, not be able to finish. Jonah broke the line. It was crazy. These guys are just so fast.
It still fucking bugs me that we still try and offload immediately after we get tackled. You know, we get.
It can lead to a try though. It has led to many. It has led to like multiple tries.
It's always been like it has to be a second pause. So if I get tackled, second, where is my body? Where is this ball going? Not just Steven's there as I'm getting fucking tackled a 50-50.
Let me pop it up.
Baseball throw to you.
Well, it's a thing like you gotta kind of sense it. So like we're kind of alluding to one between me and Franklin where he had a nice steal off of the scrum, and I was right there with him, and he made eye contact with me, so I probably should have known he was gonna pass it to me. But then he went into contact with like 3 or 4 pigs, and I'm like, all right, you're beat. Let me get in there to ruck for you. And as I'm getting close, he turned out one bam right to the face.
I saw that. I was like,
You know, and you look back, hindsight's 2020, but even that kickoff I received in Mason's face with, after I blow past the guy who kicked it, if I cut it back inside, there's a chance I take that to the house.
You're fucking telling me every contact this year, I've somehow managed to run back into the
I just keep on running too far one way. You gotta cut back after you take out enough people.
Into people smaller than me.
Yeah.
Into people bigger than me.
Yeah. Well, I definitely went into the smaller people, but I still ran into them where I could have cut back in and maybe had a chance. But
I think that everybody needs to remember that not every time you catch the ball, we're gonna have a try. You know, you're not gonna score every time you run the ball.
What off a kickoff? What do you mean?
Yeah, literally.
I mean, the Peoria number 7 almost pulled that off. To be fair, that one kid, he caught a kickoff, and I was like, had just chased down a bunch of people, so I was exhausted. So I was coming behind all the forwards, just walking there, and everybody missed a tackle. Next thing I know, I'm just running my whole heart out again. I caught him.
Lucky you made that fucking tackle.
It was really just because I was lagging behind everybody else, exhausted, that I had to chase it down. But although I only prolonged the inevitable ball for another couple seconds.
I missed all of my before injuries. I saw Becker's one. He kicked it.
Dude, everyone fell out.
I was immediately like, oh, fuck, he's fucked.
Shout out Kevin Becker. Makes a nice kick. It was a good shot, but that's just immediately down and out for the count.
Dude, he's so pissed off about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's going to be out probably for a little while now.
Come back in the full season, you know. Come to training with us, learn, you know, but don't risk it because fly halves. Taylor did a really good job of fly half, but
it was nice.
It was only on 1.5 legs, so
I know we're banged up across the board.
Yeah, forwards are so good, man.
We definitely were lacking young Caleb this last game, our MVP from last year.
I agree.
He would have been able to chase down Ryan in some of those situations, I think.
I agree.
Especially we missed him on that long try they had where they attacked the blindside flank. And I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus. I don't even know who was playing blindside at that point, but they were nowhere to be found. And they had all the room in the world to run. And like, you're coming from the strong side, they're going to have a gap trying to get
blindside flank.
It's important. You got to be there. And like the guy was nowhere to be found.
I think that might be my brother-in-law.
Either way, he was nowhere to be found, and that was a very long try, and so it's unfortunate.
But Isaac's been beating himself up as well. And I'm like, this is your second adult league.
I don't think he's beating himself up too much, but it was his first interaction, like, where he got ran the fuck over.
Fucking bigger than
you. I don't think he's gotten run the fuck over, and maybe ever, if not, it's been a long time, and your boy did. But he did run that same guy over earlier in the game, so a little
tit for tat.
A little tit for tat, exactly. So don't feel too bad, Isaac. You're gonna get God, man, it's an 80-minute rugby game. You're gonna get got at certain points. You just gotta keep coming back.
I fucking as well. The weirdest thing about me is the first 20 minutes I'm hesitant, and then slowly, progressively start getting into the game, and then the last 20 minutes. There could be a fucking nuclear apocalypse, and all I'm worried about is what's in front of me every single time. Like, I'm not missing any tackles, not doing anything wrong in that last 20 minutes. Need to transition that to the beginning of the game.
Just do it all game long.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't have a fucking body left.
It's hard. It's hard to stay on for an entire game. It's definitely not easy, man. And your body feels it the next day, and that's for sure. But yeah, so the Rockford Ravens falling on the road down in Peoria is starting to become an unfortunate trend.
Peoria is a tough fucking team.
I'm going on year 7, right, George? I don't think we beat them down there in my time, and frankly, I think we've only beat them like maybe once up by me.
I could be wrong in saying this, but I think they're the only rugby team within like 100 fucking miles of where they are.
You're probably right. I mean, because Springfield's probably the closest to them, and that's like a good 2.5, 3 more hours south. So
like, just think of that. They've got all those corn-fed motherfuckers, and there were no skinny people on that.
No, they were all big.
They've all been snorting fucking protein powder, bro.
Dude, they were all bros. They were all big bros.
Big bros. And I thought our forwards felt fucking solid.
Our forwards could kind of hang with them, but their back line was much bigger than our back line. It made
much bigger.
Yeah.
I feel like we should probably bump Skippy out the center, but Paul is so against that. No point in even talking about it, really.
It's hard to get certain things past Paul if he doesn't see it that way, but
he's a coach.
Well, the thing is that the back line is thin right now. We thought it was going to be a heavy competition for the spring season. That has not resulted. In fact, we're dealing with some pretty low numbers as the spring rolls on.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the fuck's going on. Like,
I mean, I think it's a typical thing you see with the Ravens. People come and go.
Yeah, that is true. We have players. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on with the Ravens and their player turnover. It just seems like they're so. It's just,
Maybe it's a city, or maybe we're to blame.
Maybe we're a little bit too intense. Like, I bet you the Peoria boys have fucking fun at their practices.
I bet all those guys are intense, and like they also don't go to their practices, so I don't think we're too intense. Like go to those city practices. I've heard they're pretty serious. I don't think that's the problem. I think we definitely have fun. I just think I don't know if a lot of guys want to tackle. We seem to be a pretty injury-prone team. I feel like we always are constantly dealing with injuries. I don't know, like other teams deal with it too, but it seems like we always have way more than other teams do.
Yeah.
And guys get hurt and like, what am I doing this for? And they don't come back.
It's a fucking tough sport to sell people.
It is. It's a very hard sell, honestly.
What I need you to do is spend 80 minutes of your life beating the shit out of other people.
Yeah.
And you to enjoy it enough to go a 2-hour and 15-minute drive to a random field in the middle of bumfuck Egypt to get fucking plastered.
To get your ass handed to you by some way better team. And then be excited about showing up to 2 more practices the next week to do it all again.
Yeah. And then be excited to drink beer with these assholes. Like, be happy about it.
I mean, that was fun.
What time did you leave?
Shortly after you. I was back around when you were calling me, texting me. I was right when I was cooking dinner.
I was like, oh man, because my wife was still in Peoria. I forgot her down there.
Yeah, did you forget her, or was she going to go with somebody else?
She was meant to go home with Kelsey. I don't want to sound like a shit. I
mean, let's not bury you deeper than you already are.
Kelsey and Jeremiah were going to take her back.
Okay.
But yeah, no, she didn't realize how late they were going to take her back. She came in at 1 a.m.
Oh, wow, they got back super late.
She was fucking steaming drunk and pissed off.
No way. What were they doing down there that late? Just getting hammered?
Yeah, they had quite a bit to drink, but I don't know. Kids. The people are loud, you know?
They're having a good time, dude.
Fucking rugby player as well. What am
I mean, not your boy. I got home, and George, I was in bed by 9 o'clock. Dude, it was hard to stay awake. I was like sitting there on the couch, falling asleep at like 8:30. I'm like, never mind.
I was like, I'm pretty sure Steven and I left about the same time. Because I remember you overtaking me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, so I was like, I'll give him a ring, see if he wants to go grab a bite to eat, because I'm like fucking getting home at 7:30. Like, damn, I'm fucking hungry now.
Yeah, same. I was also ready to eat. Threw some meat on. It was pretty brave of me to cook that, but I did.
No fucking chance in hell I was cooking last night.
I would have been down, but we missed it. But anyway, so Preston gets a nice try. You know, friend of the show had come on here and talked to us about the Peoria Pigs. He had a beautiful try. But George, 2 weeks in a row, the Rockford Ravens have given up a try. Not because the other team is awesome, but, you know, partly because of that, but because we are right on the goal line. And instead of defending that goal line, our players are talking to the referee about the last call, and therefore leaving easy tries for a quick
tap. The referee wants to fucking hear your voice. Like, if the referee wants to talk, guess who he's gonna fucking talk to? The fucking captain. He's gonna be, captain, come over here, and I'm gonna be like, okay, yes, sir. Yeah. And trust me, I'm gonna kick that ball kick the ball out of the way so they can't quick tap it. Like, yeah, and also, when in the history of anything has a player convinced the referee that he was wrong with his call and changed it? I didn't change it, but I convinced him it was wrong. That fucking blood sub. The fucking blood sub with Chris coming off. Paul said, hey, look, I'm going to change blood sub, Chris comes off, and I'm going to put, I believe it was Hudak on. You know, blood sub exchange. Yeah. Made eye contact with the ref says, fine, come. Peoria quick taps it, scores off of it, and then the ref completely forgot that he stopped the clock for the quick tap, for the blood sub, not the quick tap. So that try should have been disallowed. And I was trying. I was like, look, you fucked us here. You literally fucked us. We're all looking at our player that's got half his fucking eyebrow missing. You've allowed these assholes to quick tap it. Like, you've ruined the fucking game. Dude, shout out to the scrum half, Randy. He had 2 tries. One of them was a quick tap where I don't know if there was a blood sub going on. This was kind of later on in the game. No, it was right in front of me. And dude, he faked it to the pods, which got me, and then he cuts back inside, and just then I slide in the mud. It was just me and fucking you standing in front of me. That's what I was talking about. That's why I brought this up. And once again, where do you think the rest of the boys were? They were talking to the ref, George. They were trying to get a call. Sticking my hand underneath the ball so the referee couldn't see. I was like, sorry, hold up. He's like, don't you fucking lie. It was funny fucking with Randy. Like on their very first try, Brian was trying to get it over the line, so I ended up on my belly trying to hold it up and stop him, and then I realized that we weren't there, so he pushed it back to Randy, who immediately got up and jumped over, and I couldn't get there in time, but I did almost hold it up, and then Randy was like, you hit my hand. I'm like, stop it. I will hold that up. He's like, you're right. You got to be like, there's a brain in there anyway, bitch. He's so funny. I played with that guy before. Shout out Randy. Not sure what the fuck his last name is, but funny dude from Peoria. I played with him before. Very injury prone, but much like Hudak, will get hurt 5 different times in 10 different locations, but then still play. And in one match, and still play, and still be there for next week. Yeah. We played with him in Nashbash last year. Yeah. What a fucking waste of time that was. That was funny though. We went down there for 2 games in 6 hours, and then had to come wait until our last game was on Sunday. I was like, fuck you. Yeah, you just left. Fuck you. I'm not fucking staying around for that. You're the worst. We played that other game. Peoria was like 4 hours away from. We're like 12 hours away from Nashville. Like, fuck you. I'm not fucking going that again. Like, you're the worst. You were already down there. You should have just stayed. Like, I'm not fucking staying there. I want to go home on Sunday. No. Well, we did go home on Sunday. We just played a game first. Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, so Preston scored. Tony had a lot of good carries. Also, fellow fellow teammate. He was also kicking the ball for them, which was quite amazing for their prop to be kicking the ball. Yeah, he can't kick the save.
He was okay. He was kicking it right to me like every single time. I caught like 3 or 4 kickoffs. It was crazy.
I kind of think we should change the exploded scrum when we're kicking off. I think I should receive it.
Yeah, I don't have any objections to that. I've had some pretty good returns though. But
no, you really have. But I'm just kind of thinking because I want to have run the ball back up.
Yeah,
more
fair.
Again. Just fucking hit somebody.
Anyway, George, this is the type of game that
we have a lot to learn,
especially with all the injuries. It's the type of game that really could send the team down a spiral the wrong way.
Saying that to Paul, but I also said to Paul, every now and again it's good for the Ravens to get a good fucking kick in.
I thought it was good for us to kind of get our faces slapped and guys starting to think a little too highly of themselves out there a little bit. It was a humbling experience for everybody, even the guys who weren't getting run over like myself. I couldn't fucking catch anybody, so that was pretty humbling. Dude, they were so fast. I would chase them all day and just couldn't catch shit. So it was humbling for everybody, I think, and sometimes you need that as a team to want to push harder, want to work harder, and now we kind of have some motivation to realize, no, we're not where we want to be if we're trying to be in the playoffs.
And that's what all of this is. We're working towards. Getting slapped in the face is actually good for a team learning a new system.
Sure.
Because it makes you think, okay, so maybe I need to rethink where I am.
And you could say offense wasn't the problem, which is a good thing for the Ravens.
31 points.
Which is a pretty good thing for the Ravens, that offense wasn't the problem. And frankly, if we just play a little bit more of the defense that we've been playing since last year, we should have. It would have been a different result. But I think they scared us and beat us in that first quarter, and it kind of stuck with the team the rest of the game.
I'm thinking you can't really. I think they scored like 3 tries off of their own scrum footing. And I was thinking to myself, that isn't the forwards then. That's 100% not the forwards. Unless that 10 is, because I know that whenever I saw that 10, he would bounce out to the 12 or bounce out to the 13 channel. A 7 can't really fucking get to the 13
It's hard. It's so hard to get out
there. It's not really your fault that you fucking break.
But if I was faster, like if I was Caleb, you might have got him. So, there's that.
I really would not have liked to have seen Caleb collide with those boys out there on Saturday. Even though he's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
He's a small guy.
He would have made the tackle though.
Hitting some big boys.
They were some very big boys. But we had some pretty good showing. The other rookie who kind of stood out a little bit was Bill. Definitely getting rocked, but he would slow down all the momentum, and then it would make an easy tackle for anyone next to him.
Did he actually make a clean tackle on Saturday?
He definitely did. Yeah, he had a couple.
He threw his body into.
He was in all kinds of collisions, dude. That guy threw his body around. Shout out him. Shout out Isaac with a solid game.
I would just also like to say, I don't fucking actively try and avoid tackles. I just actively never get anybody to run at me.
They just run elsewhere.
They literally see me and I'm going and I'm like, fuck you, I wanted to make that tackle.
Understandable.
Or I'm always by the ruck, like always, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, I need to get a turnover here. Because I was also saying, I was like, dude, we're fucking blessed on this team. We have 4 fucking huge poachers or turnover artists. We've got me, you, Hudak, and Skip. All would be fucking top of other teams on the turnovers. Like Peoria didn't even fucking stick their hands once in a row.
They didn't try that much. They had a few. I mean, to be fair, the one on Jeremiah where he broke loose, that was a poach. And the referee called him not coming in straight. I was like, Skip said that correctly. Skip was like, lucky call. And I was like, yep. Because, dude, I'm watching Jeremiah. I'm on the other side of the field. And Jeremiah's breaking loose on this side of the field. And I'm like slowly running. And then I realized nobody from that side of the field is chasing him. And it's up to me to catch up to him from the other side. And so, I didn't get there in fucking time because that time was all over him. And it's like, we got lucky as fuck. Because they did have a couple poaches, but they just kept on getting called for their poaches. And that's the thing. It's like everyone's trying to blame the referee a little bit. It's like, dude, he was just as on that, giving them just as much shit.
But it's also we conceded points when they had 13 players on the fucking field. Help me out here. Help me with my math. What is 13 versus 15? A good day to have 15 fucking players on the field. So why the fuck did we concede 2 tries when they had 13 players?
Did they have how many yellow cards?
They had, I believe, 2 pretty close to each other.
Wow. I mean, like you said, George, we're 2 forwards here, so we're not going to sit here and absolutely trash the backs. but there was injuries all throughout that back line, and they had a tough day at the office.
Whole starting lineup basically thrown into a blender.
Yeah. No, Paul's definitely not going to get his matching starting lineup this spring, at least. It's not going to happen.
No,
not this spring. Anyway, George, any final thoughts here about the game, about Peoria, about life in general?
Peoria did really well for themselves.
Yeah.
I think actually if we had last week's referee, we probably would have won that game because our scrum was dominant and he let the fucking turnovers fly. Everybody got about 5 turnovers in those games. Whereas I think I got 1 yesterday.
I got 2, but yeah, it was
like 3 penalties, hands in the ruck. It's consistently. I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. It was a tough day at the office for a lot of us. I'll say that Peoria has just dangerous guys. They have a lot of more dangerous guys than we have dangerous guys. We got like 3 to 4 pretty dangerous guys when they have the balls in their hand, whereas they had like 5 to 7.
Yeah, no big.
And they're big boys.
They just move.
And then the other guys who weren't necessarily dangerous would still hit you and it still sucked.
Yeah.
And those guys aren't great either.
Nothing nice about being on defense yesterday.
And it was such long periods of time that we were on defense too.
Yeah.
It was very prolonged. They were good at maintaining possession. Anyway, Ravens need to clean our shit up. Should we hope to be in the playoffs this year? We're gonna have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, we've got to think on D.
Yeah.
Think about defense.
Get back on defense, baby. But anyway, we're gonna play better defense. You Sports By Champion fans will hopefully continue to pay attention to our show and like and subscribe it.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
All right, boys, we're out of here.
Yes,
Thank you for tuning in to our chat about the Rockford